Sean here from Aged Care Financial Planning. I'm going to talk about the recent aged care changes that have occurred. These are almost like once in a generation changes that have happened. And in a nutshell, if I had to summarize it, most people are going to pay more for their aged care costs. So I'm just going to do a few minute breakdown of the major changes. So the first one is that means tested care fee has been it's been replaced by a non-clinical care contribution. Like, it's a mouthful, but basically under the old system, you could pay up to $416 per day, and it had a lifetime cap. It all capped out annually at about $32,000, and you'd only pay about $82,000 over your lifetime, and then you're done. Whereas with this new system, what they've done is they've actually reduced the daily amount that's to about $101 per day, but annually you can pay a bit more, roughly about $36,000. But the big hit that's going to hit a lot of people is over a whole lifetime, you can pay potentially $130,000 in lifetime care costs. So planning around that and having strategies to reduce your Centrelink assessable assets and income has just become more important than ever, than anything. So another big one, so that's the means tested care fee change that's going to happen. In a nutshell, more people are going to pay more. The second one is that the actual prices of the rooms have gone up. So before a facility would need to seek approval was $550,000. That's now increased to $750,000. So I've got no doubt most facilities are going to start charging a little bit more. And to be fair, when you look at the increase in house prices over the years, that makes sense. But what that's going to lead to is that less people, I think, are going to be able to pay for their full RADs. And at the moment, the way the daily accommodation payments work, or the rent, if you don't pay the full bond, at the moment, that's set in stone at the date you go in, but that's being replaced by a payment that's going to be indexed twice a year. So that's going to continue to go up, which means sorting out cash flows is going to be more important than ever before. And the other thing that's also going to lead to that increased RADs is that they've now increased a 2% retention, because with the rules as they currently stand, whatever you put into the RAD, 550,000, 1 million, 2 million, upon the person leaving the facility, whether that's passing away or even just changing aged care facilities, that whole amount either comes back to them or the estate. Now, 2% of that gets taken every single year, up to a maximum of 10% that is going to be retained by the facility. So that's a relatively big deal. That's going to change estate planning and a lot of the other planning that comes into it. So, all right, the last one that I'm going to go into is the hoteling supplement. Now, what's happened is that's an extra fee that never used to exist anywhere before. So for people with assets over $238,000 assessable assets, there's this extra fee that's popped in up to $11.55 per day, which is around $4,500 per annum. But unlike some of the other means tested fees, there's no lifetime cap on this. So this can significantly add to the costs of people in aged care with means, especially those, well, not even with huge means, just above $238,000. And especially with people with long-term dementia, other things like that, that I can see this being really significant. So that's a really high-level overview of the major changes that have occurred to aged care. But in a nutshell, these things have gotten even more complicated than they were before. No one ever said before that aged care financials were easy. They've become even harder. So getting that strategy is more, and getting it right is more important than ever before. If you have any questions, let us know.